Some people are gonna think that I'm crazy, but I don't care. All that matters to me is Isaiah.
Shawty made that ass clap, she don't need no applause. High fashion, like Goya, G-Wagon, or the Rover. I put some ice on you cause you got it cold. I know I gotta keep my shawty on go. Got that ass to the floor. You ain't gotta do it on the these niggas no more. I've been in feelings, is that okay? Is it okay if I call you my private babe? I ain't no player, I just got a lot of faith. But let me tell you, I like you a lot of faith. I wanna start at the top and the bottom, babe. Now you want the shit with the head at the bottom, babe. You know I like when you right at the top. She wants your name, and yo. I'm only doing cash out, I don't need promo. I pull up to the high rise, I'm in the 4-4. Inside Coco. If I got a feeling, I keep it inside my heart. And I keep a petty cause I don't do facade. You can see my diamonds even when I'm in the dark. And since you got it, it makes you gon' do it. Shawty made that ass clap, she don't need no applause. High fashion, like Goya, G-Wagon, or the Rover. I put some ice on you cause you got it cold. I know I gotta keep my shawty on go. Got that ass to the floor. You ain't gotta do it on these niggas no more. I've been in feelings, is that okay? Is it okay if I call you my private babe? I ain't no player, I just got a lot of faith. But let me tell you, I like you a lot of faith. I wanna start at the top and the bottom, babe. Now you want the shit with the head at the bottom, babe. You know I like when you right at the top. If I hit the front of that, she gon' hit the sidewalk. If she got a message with her, take her back to my law. I've been up on it wild. And then they been begging for shit, style. Keep my hoes divided. Remember I was pulling up in the valley. You know I take her so when she riding. This nigga's all 10 years old. Shot it on the drive, it look like a tempo. Every time we kick it like tempo. Shawty made that ass clap, she don't need no applause. I put some ice on you cause you got it cold. I know I gotta keep my shawty on go. Got that ass to the floor, yeah. Shawty made that ass clap, she don't need no applause. High fashion, like Goya, G-Wagon, or the Rover. I put some ice on you cause you got it cold. I know I gotta keep my shawty on go. Got that ass to the floor. You ain't gotta do it on these niggas no more. I've been in feelings, is that okay? Is it okay if I call you my private babe? I ain't no player, I just got a lot of faith. But let me tell you, I like you a lot of faith. I wanna start at the top and the bottom, babe. Now you want the shit with the head at the bottom, babe. You know I like when you right at the top.
Your body drive me crazy. Your body need a license fit. Your body are too tight and neat. Anybody who got eyes can't see. She just wanna dance and tease. She just wanna dance and tease me. 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 Listen, you've been missing since 2016. Squid tell me one fix. You know that's my sister. When she speak, I listen. She swears you're my missing. I say we think different. I see. By your heart, I see. Come, baby, come, try me. Who you gonna love if you run by me, love? Too many twists and turns, yeah. Love the way you twist and turn, yeah. Baby, call me, I too fly, I get burned, yeah. Love the way you twist and turn, yeah.
Your body drive me crazy. Your body need a license fee. Got your body at the Titan heat. Anybody who got eyes can't see. She just wanna dance and tease. She just wanna dance and tease me. Yeah, but yeah, lot. She just wanna dance and tease. She just wanna dance and tease me. She just wanna dance and tease me. Yeah, dance and tease. You cool like the Highland breeze. You know what you want and need. Bend over, hug up and squeeze. They used to say you did know when I'm party, a Jordan party. Yeah, your body was so clean. You did a weird Versace. Back it up high, you look right. Your body drive me. Oh, God. Your body drive me crazy. Your body need a license fee. Yeah, your body at the Titan. Anybody who got eyes can't see. She just wanna dance and tease. 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 Dance and tease, man. Now you want to run like a nothing. I think that's for me and have my head stiff. Yeah. No fair, no cares. Because too many times you said yes and it never go nowhere. Yeah, I see why your heart's I see. Come baby, come try me. Everybody run by me. Yeah. Look how you twist and turn, yeah. Look how you twist and turn, yeah. Baby, I have heard you twist and turn, yeah. Look how you twist and turn, yeah. Your body drive me crazy, your body need a license fee. Got your body at the Titan. Anybody who got eyes can't see. She just wanna dance and tease. 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 She just wanna dance and tease, man. Dance and tease, man. Cause I don't wanna hurt nobody. Did it over text, didn't call me. Still got love for your mommy. I know you wanna be somebody, even if you gotta leave somebody.
What's going on, family? What's going on, guys? Yes. Let's get it. Hopefully you guys are having a phenomenal night. This is your boy Abel checking in one time. Super excited to be here with every single one of you guys tuning in as usual. Hopefully you guys are all having a phenomenal night, family. Let me go ahead and see what we got in the building today. Boom. It's okay. Yes, family. What's going on, guys? What's going on? I see we got Mike, Tony, Ephraim. What's up? Shout out to you guys tuning in tonight, man. We got a bunch of things to talk about today. We got some markets that we could take a look at. We got a few different topics and conversations that I want to have with you guys as well. So yeah, we definitely gonna vibe out tonight, family, for sure. For sure, we just gonna vibe out as usual. And see what's up. Shout out to Gold. Shout out to Gold. It is doing well. Shout out to Gold. Let me see. Give me 1 second, familia.
Made a lane and niggas can't get over. I can't mess with rappers, they be bogus. Rather get the pack and keep it open. Big dripper stand up in the ocean. Everybody trapping, we get lost. He ain't focused yet, but he ain't got motion. Made a half a ticket, not promotion. Shout out sushi sweet and keep me rolling. But if we get the op, we gotta slow. Ryan around with Drake, like we OVO. I got some rats and I want some. Still got a pass in the hood, call it give and go. Keep a nigga, man, bitch in the figure four. Let me fuck when I want, I just come and go. Man, these rats get too deep for these skinny clothes. I might put me in him in some bitch boat. They look bro, hit this nigga start getting low. I spent time on the rest on the Lambo and didn't even know how to make them motherfuckers go. On my birthday, I just wanna look at those. Got it fit, but don't play with me, period. Just follow behind in the years. Anyway, I feel like a tourist. I'm the one from the bottom who sold out my partner, the promise to God the period. Oh, he ain't up. I fuck with lines and I'm gonna bust. You can't get on that trip, he ain't one of us. How you riding the Benz in a Tonka truck? How you got everybody lit piping up? Oh, she bad with no swag, I can pipe her up.
No. Give me 1 second, fam. I'm still just checking some things really quickly. Let's see. I've been in gold since 2052. What's going on, Austin? What's going on, Jeff? Chevy, what's up, Devin? My brother, I appreciate you. Amy, what's going on? All right, big shout out to you as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get this thing started, family. Really just take a quick look at the markets. See what has happened in the past, throughout today as a whole. And then identify if there's any opportunities that we could take advantage of for London session or New York session tomorrow morning. Right, but I want to start off, guys, by pretty much just talking about the setup that we did take this morning. Right, shout out to you guys that are a part of the actual trade room, right, that are part of the premium family inside of the Profit Society. I appreciate y'all. I love you guys so much. You know, if you guys were on this morning's call, you guys know that we actually ended up taking this call right here, which was a gold short position. This was a very interesting play, right? If you guys were on the call, you guys will remember how my thought process was when I was actually looking at this setup. Right, I went from initially potentially looking for a possible buy to changing my perspective, changing my bias because I seen something differently, and then we ended up taking the short, and that's what actually ended up playing out. All right, so that was a very interesting session this morning for sure. Right, so if you guys were on the call, I literally was explaining my entire thought process with y'all. So hopefully you guys were able to gain some value, right? Not just the money that we made today, right? Because if you took the trade, we up a bag, we made over 100 plus pips on this position right here, right? So the money's cool, but it's more so just identifying how I did it, identifying the thought process, right? Identifying how I controlled, you know, my emotions, right? And just everything that came with it. You know, that type of experience, that type of exposure is absolutely phenomenal for sure, right? So big shout out to all you guys that are in the trade room. I look forward to coming back tomorrow, man, and doing the same thing on gold, right? Because I see some more opportunities on gold that we'll talk about as well. But as of right now, again, I initially was targeting somewhere within this range or this low down here. But with the way it's been going, man, like gold is interesting now, right? And I did tell you guys earlier to pretty much take, you know, partials, take money off the table You know, especially when we were all the way down here, up around 100 pips. You know, so you should have paid yourself for sure. I ended up taking a big chunk just because of what I told you guys as well, right? Even on the call this morning, I explained to y'all that this was going to be like a short-term intraday type of sell here, right? That my entire bias really wasn't for this thing to fall and collapse all the way down. It could have, but that wasn't really my intentions, right? My intention was simply just to catch an intraday short because I expected this thing to probably fall and come and test these lows down here, right? So now that we ended up getting close to those lows, I ended up closing a big chunk of my position. I do have a little bit open still. That's at break even, right? So I can't lose on this position. I already paid myself, right? So either way, this is a W. And that last remainder that I have open right now, that's just for shits and giggles pretty much, right? To see what happens with it. But either way, you know, it was a phenomenal setup that we took advantage of this morning. All right, and yeah, you know, it definitely paid some bills with that one. But what can we look for next now, right, on gold? All right, okay, so what is next, right? Well, I personally still like continuations here to the downside, right? Especially just based on how we're looking at right now. I still want to go a little bit lower, right? So I think this little pullback that we are experiencing now is pretty good for us, right? Especially if you are on the side of possible move lower, right? Because now we are starting to create this structure. We're starting to build this structure within this little pullback, and hopefully it doesn't happen when I'm sleeping. But you know, I would not be surprised if the market is something like this and then possibly went and tested these lows once more, you know, one more time, right? So I'm not opposed to that, right? I'm not opposed to that whatsoever here for gold, right? Seeing if we could see price come back up towards this 2037 level. Honestly, that's damn near where we pretty much entered this morning. But then to go ahead and see if we can create a new low. Now, if the market for whatever reason just comes up to here and we actually break it with some momentum, like we take out this high right here, then I might be changing my bias, right? I might be saying, you know what, that's pretty strong. We are at a major level of structure, so if we do get above this 2037 level with a lot of momentum, then we might actually start to target these highs, right? Because we do have potential areas that we could target, right, to the upside as well, which again is what my long-term play here is for gold, right? Long-term, I still like the upside for gold, right, long-term. But I also see on a short-term possible shorts, and that's what we took advantage of today, right? So we'll see what happens overnight. Again, as of right now, based on what I'm currently seeing, yeah, I like the move that I'm seeing now. Yeah, so we'll see what happens though. Obviously, by the time I wake up in the morning, you know, we'll see if it's still looking good or if we just missed it or if just the setup just doesn't look as good as it once did, right? But I'm very interested to see us take out, you know, this 2036 level. Maybe we could have some like this, right? A setup like this. Excuse me. Right? Maybe something like this could, you know, be worthwhile for us, right? But again, I'm gonna take my trades during New York session like I always do. I am a New York session trader, you know, so we'll see where this is at in the morning, you know, and hopefully by the morning we're just still somewhere down here. All right, we didn't tap into this level yet, and then New York session starts, we tap up, and then we go ahead and we give that move lower, right? That would be phenomenal. All right, if the market was actually going to do what I wanted it to do, then it would be something like that. But that's not how it works, right? The market does whatever the hell it wants, and we have to be okay with that, and we have to adjust, right? So we'll see what happens here in the morning time, but as of now, this is currently what I'm liking. I'm liking the possible shorts from that 2036 level for gold, and I'll just have to see if by the morning time it's still there so that we can go ahead and get involved. All right, so that's what I'm liking on gold, guys. Right, I think gold is definitely setting up extremely nicely for sure here, right, to the downside for one more leg here. All right, let me see. What do you guys think about this gold though, fam? Let me know. Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? Do you guys like it? Do you guys not like it? Talk to me here. All right, what do you guys think about this gold? And as you guys are coming in as well, family, please go ahead and smash that like button one time. Definitely appreciate you so much for doing that. It definitely helps out, especially as we are now, you know, back on this journey of, you know, going live, right, and streaming live for you guys here on YouTube, you know, for Asian sessions, right? So, you know, any little bit of support helps. So I appreciate y'all that did smash the like button and those that are about to. You guys are absolutely phenomenal. All right, so let's see what else we got here, right? GCAT drop at 1.71. Didn't catch this on Monday during New York. Okay, nice. Yeah, I don't really trade GBP CAT, but that's dope. That's nice. Let's see, salute Abel in the chat. Free zone in the building. What's the word, man? We ate on that gold. Absolutely, right? We did catch a nice little bag on that, right? Absolutely, we did. Let's see, I like it. I love it. Yeah, I think it looks like, I think it looks pretty decent. Just come back down and test these lows one more time. But ultimately, I do think eventually we do turn back around sometime and take out these highs eventually here for gold. So, but we'll see. We'll see what the markets present themselves in the morning. Now in terms of the dollar, right? So the dollar itself actually had a very strong day today, right? Which kind of is that definitely helped out with gold, right? Actually losing value the way that we did. Because if the dollar didn't have this bullish day today, then we probably would have took a loss on that gold position, right? That we had, But the dollar did end up, seeking more higher, higher pricing, right? It ended up reaching all the way up to above the 103 level at this point, right? Which is pretty dope. Now, what do we expect next for the dollar? All right, that's the question that we have here. Well, I'm very interested to see what actually happens next, right? Because I could see the market really going both either direction. Now, I have a side that I'm favoring, right? But I could see the market potentially going in either direction, right? So what I think could possibly happen is if we are on the side of bullishness, we might be able to come back down towards this key level here of structure, right around the 102,700s. And there is that possibility that we push right back on up to go ahead and test, this supply zone up here at these highs, all right? And then possibly even in breaking that and starting to collect some liquidity, above this trend line, testing some of the imbalance and so on and so forth, right? So there is that possibility there where the market does do that, right? It gives that bullish scenario and we do start to target these levels. And to be honest, as of right now, that might be the safer play to stick with, right? Is probably just looking for those continuations. But I'm starting to prepare myself personally for some shorts here soon. All right, and this is just my opinion. I could be wrong here, right? But I believe that the dollar soon, I don't know exactly when, but I believe the dollar could be getting ready to start going back to the downside here very soon. Right, so I'm gonna be keeping my eye on it. Right, again, there is that possibility. As of right now, if you're playing structure, right, especially on these lower, looking for that continuation could be the play. But I think we're getting ready to go ahead and see some and see this thing really start to fall, in my opinion, right? Come back and test these lows here for the dollar. So that's my opinion, right? We've been, seeing bearishness for the past few months here, all right? Ever since October, November, we've been, pretty bearish here. And I think that there's a good chance that that trend continues, right? Especially since I believe all this bearishness that we've seen in the dollar is really just sentiment, right? It's really just the market telling us what they expect about inflation and what they expect the Fed to do, right? We know inflation has really come back down to earth. We know that the Fed is eventually planning on cutting rates, and the market is reacting to that, right? And I think that we're going to see more continuations of that, especially until we actually start to see rate cuts, right? The markets are going to continue to price those things in. Now, we do have interest rate decision in 2 weeks, right? At the end of this month, we do have an interest rate decision that's going to shake things up. We'll see what the Fed is going to do. I expect them just to keep interest rates at the same exact level, especially because of our last CPI reading did come out a little bit hotter than expected, right? But either way, the overall sentiment is that things are looking good. It is time to go ahead and turn the risk on, right? And whenever we are in a risk-on environment, the dollar loses value, right? So that's where I'm leaning at with, man. I think the dollar itself will eventually turn around and give us a move all the way back down to the lows necessarily, right? So we'll see what happens. But I wouldn't even be surprised though. Again, like I said, if we did just at least spike up to here and see how we react from there. You never know. We might be able to see something like that, right? Maybe take out this entire level, right, before we actually go ahead and see some weakness. All right, and that's a very good possibility as well. Again, we'll have to just see what price is doing by the morning time, right? If by the morning time we can get an opportunity that looks like, this is probably just going to continue bullish, and guess what? We'll go ahead and take that opportunity, right? And we'll just go ahead and start buying dollar pairs, and so on and so forth. If I'm looking at the DXY, where can be a viable setup or where can be a good area for us to expect some strength to possibly come in? Probably below this 103 level, right? Back below 103 can give us a decent opportunity to go ahead and push higher. Now again, I want to make this clear though. If we do end up pushing lower than that level, if we end up getting below like right here, this 102,800 level, I'm probably gonna be expecting this to probably drop again, right? So there's definitely a few different scenarios that we could play here for the dollar. Again, I am looking for reasons to short this personally, although as of right now, we have been seeing a little bit of short-term strength. I do want to look for some more reasons to short though, right? So I'm looking for it. If I can see it, whether it's the market showing us by doing something like this, come back within the range, then cool, right? That'll be phenomenal. We'll go ahead and take the short. But it's just a matter of, again, just let me see. Yeah, it's just a matter of seeing what price gives us, right? When it's time for us to actually go ahead and play some trades. But I'm liking this, man. I really am liking this opportunity here for the dollar. So we'll see if we can get it. Now, what does that mean for other pairs? Well, taking a look at the euro, right? That means that the euro could be, at some point creating a bottom here that can eventually now start to give us reasons to go back to the upside. Right, because again, if we take a look at the euro and we just zoom out a little bit, we can see that again, this has been gaining some strength again since October, right? We had the low right here, which is in October, literally at the beginning of the month, but ever since then, we have really just been, trending higher, so, creating these highs, these lows, these highs, these lows, right? So what if there is a chance now for us to go ahead and just continue in this trend? Again, the market started to react like this ever since CPI started to become a lot better, right? Ever since the markets have been, just expecting positive news and positive data to continue to come out, the market has been reacting to that, right? Again, when there's a lot of optimism and hope in the marketplace, people are usually selling the dollar and investing into other things, including foreign currencies. So again, it's just these things that we pick up when we incorporate the fundamental side of things to the technicals, right? Technicals, yeah, maybe sweeping this little imbalance, we can go ahead and start to buy this thing up. That would be cool, right? I wouldn't be opposed to that whatsoever. All right, so we'll have to see what happens here, but yeah, hopefully we can get some good entries though. I know when we do get an entry, family, right? Especially if we're like gonna trade the euro, right? Whenever we do find this low and we actually get a good entry, I'm telling you, it's gonna be. I think it's going to be a phenomenal setup because not only could we target to the 1.1 levels, but we could probably target right back all the way up to the highs. And we're talking about 200 plus pips to the upside, right? Close to 300, especially depending on where we actually end up entering. It could be closer to that 300 level, right? So, great risk to reward. So we'll just have to see, what the market is at during the New York session and see what happens. Now, for those of you guys that do trade London session, keep your eyes on it as well, right? Especially if you're going to be up for London session. Because it could happen during London. Again, I'm just waiting for New York because that's usually when I trade. But we might see this thing spike down during London session and start to make its move already. So just be prepared if you guys are going to be watching it. But I really do like this type of opportunity here for the euro. All right, if I was liking something, it would be something like that. Now, the thing about that is, right, and I want to make this, or at least I want to bring this up as well. The thing about that is it's kind of going against in terms of correlation with the dollar itself, right? Me trying to necessarily short the dollar should probably mean I should be looking for possible longs here on gold. And that is very true, right? That is very possible. Remember what I said, right? Because I don't want to make nobody confused. We're going to look for this short again because I just want to come down into here and then possibly buy. Again, the shorts that we're taking are some short-term shorts. We're just taking it because that's what the market is showing us and giving it to us. But the moment the market starts to give us reasons to buy gold, we absolutely will. Right? And we'll probably start to get that reason once we see it's time to short the dollar, right? Like it's all going to usually happen together, right? The moment we see it's time to short this thing is the moment we're going to really find that opportunity to go ahead and buy this thing. All right, so we'll keep our eye on this for sure. Again, gold is going to be one of my focuses going into tonight and into tomorrow morning. As of right now, I still kind of like this short-term sell here for gold. All right, it's like the only thing that I like as of right now. For the euro, you might get something similar here for the euro. Again, the euro is going to not move identical to gold, right? But because of just the correlation against the dollar, more times than not, we could see similar plays here, right? So for something like this is probably not a bad play for the euro if you are going to be trading something. If you want more of like an intraday opportunity here, this is probably not a bad play right here for the euro itself. Shorting around the 109.03 level, You know, might not be a bad play. You know, target around the 108, 200. Yeah, you know, could be a decent opportunity, right? If this is something that you're interested in. All right. Again, I don't trade London session. I don't trade any session. I trade New York session. All right. So we'll see what the market presents itself by the time we actually do wake up tomorrow morning and see what happens. But this is probably not a bad play, and I wouldn't be surprised if this actually plays out damn near perfect tonight if it actually does trigger tonight. So for all you London session traders, keep your eyes on this. This could be a banger. All right, this could be a banger if you trade the euro. All right, let's go take a look at indices now, right? So we spoke about gold, right? We spoke about the dollar. We spoke about the euro. Let's go ahead and take a look at, actually, we'll keep it on currencies for now, right? Let's take a look at GJ. And pound yen has been absolutely on fire. All right, to be honest, this hasn't come back since we started looking for buys down here. And we added more entries right here. Right now, I'm not in no more positions for GJ. I did end up closing all of my trades, but you know, we had entries down here and right here, right? And I think there's still potential for more upside, in my opinion. Just based off what we're seeing for right now, right? Obviously, things can change, you know, but as of right now, yeah, I think there's still a decent opportunity for this to continue higher here. All right, so if I was looking for anything for GJ, I would probably be looking for reasons to go long. You know, maybe. Let me see. Where can we look for longs from? I mean, we do have this support that we're testing now, right? I personally would love to see us take out this low and then buy probably from down here. I don't know why. I like this. Actually, I do know why, but I like this level right here. All right, if I was looking for some longs, then I probably would prefer it a little bit lower. All right, now there is a chance that the market does just respect this support level right here, right? And we just go ahead and continue to trend. But that's not the type of play I like, right? I want to go ahead and fill some of these imbalances. I would prefer to go ahead and take a move on the sweep of this lone candle that we have right there, right? And then go ahead and go bullish. So that's not a bad play. This could be something that, again, who knows? Tonight during London session, it could probably form for you. Maybe tomorrow morning during New York session, you never know, right? You might be able to go ahead and yeah, you know, find these opportunities for real. So we'll see what happens here. We'll see what the market gives us as well. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at, yeah, that GJ looks pretty good. I'm not even gonna lie. I might actually set an alert. I might set an alert for GJ. I'll probably be sleeping though while the timing happens, but I'm gonna set an alert either way. Cause that could probably be a banger. And I ain't gonna lie. All right, UCAD, right? Let's see what we're looking at for UCAD here. USD CAD. What are we looking at? Actually, let me see. GJ shorts. I'm bullish on GJ overall too. Yeah, I mean it's interesting, right? It's interesting price action, interesting structure. I think long term, I still like the upside for GJ. But yeah, if I get in, I'll have to get in down here though. This is like the only area it makes sense for me to want to get in for GJ. All right, so let's talk about UCAD, right? So UCAD has been, let's see, yeah, it has been gained a lot of strength to start this year. But how do I feel about UCAD overall, though? That's the question that I gotta ask myself. How do I actually feel about UCAD? How do I feel about UCAD? UCAD has been super choppy for 2 years. Right now we're back testing this middle point, this structure point. Oh, I don't know. I don't. Yeah, there's nothing that I'm interested in here for USD CAD. Nothing that I like about USD CAD. I'm gonna go ahead and just leave that alone. I'm good on it. It's not something I'm interested in. If I was to pick something, it probably would be to maybe look for some, I don't even know. I don't know. I don't like this pair at all. All right, so I'm gonna pass on it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the indices real quick, right? So indices, starting off with the NASDAQ. What have we done, nasty Nas? Today, we actually really didn't do too much, to be honest. We ended up having a nice strong run up here on the open, but ultimately came all the way back down and erased the exact move pretty much, you know, a few hours later. And right now, we've seen another spike up, and who knows, we're probably going to continue to the upside. But this is pretty much what my idea was, right? I wanted to look for continuations personally to the upside here for indices as of right now. So again, depending on how we are tomorrow morning, tomorrow we might be able to look for some opportunities to go ahead and probably try to buy this. If the opportunity is there, we'll take it. If it's not, then we won't. But something like this is probably not a bad idea. Just looking to see if we can continue here, right? Again, I think indices overall, just because I think the stock market is, as of right now, it could have a decent year. Obviously, there could be a lot of factors into play that could make the stock market crash, but I believe as of right now, and I could be wrong, right? But I think as of right now, stock market could be primed to have a pretty decent year as of right now. All right, so for NASDAQ, yeah, I think we do go ahead and we break these highs. And once we break these highs, we go ahead and we continue to create, all-time highs. All right, we have just broken all-time highs not too long ago, all right, a few weeks ago. I think it's now time to go ahead and create some new all-time highs here, right? So that's what I'll be looking for going into tomorrow. A pull back down and then possible continuation here. Take out these highs that we have been pretty much just generating a ton of orders with, right? And obviously, there could be a lot of liquidity above those highs. Let's see what we got here. I'm bullish on the higher time frame. Nice. Think Kyle got a sell on UCAD. Shout out to my little bro Kyle. I didn't even realize he sent it out. I didn't even realize he sent it out. Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, listen. Kyle's the one that he definitely trades UCAD a lot more than I do, so shout out to Kyle. Hopefully that can go phenomenal and can go crazy for you. That'd be pretty dope. That would be pretty dope. That's what we need. Yeah, so shout out to that. Let's see. Microsoft looks good. Microsoft. You're actually talking like the actual stock is what you're talking about? Like, are you interested in buying Microsoft stock? Microsoft. What is the damn ticker? Microsoft. Yeah, this thing's been bullish. You know what's crazy? Like, damn, look at this chart. Talk about a bullish trend here. Golly. Look at this. When Microsoft first launched, it was literally only 9 cents, 10 cents a coin. And this thing has just non-stop gone up. Golly, what a chart. Right, so Microsoft is interesting though, right? Because recently they just made news, right, as being the most valuable company, right? They actually surpassed Tesla for a short period of time. Or was it? No, it's not Tesla. They actually surpassed Apple to be the most valuable company in the world, right? According to market cap. Let me see if I can find the article, right? Because Microsoft is definitely having a phenomenal run right now. It's been having a phenomenal run for a while, but it's definitely been having a crazy run as of right now. Let me see if I can find this article, though. Let's see. Yeah, now Microsoft had a crazy run though. Let's see. I really like Tesla. Tesla's a good one, right? Again, I'm a big fan of just Elon Musk as a whole, right? So I feel like anything that Elon puts his hands on, I want to invest into. Just because anything that he creates really is revolutionary. How can I not say that word? All right, everything that he creates is revolutionary, right? So it really does impact our way of living. So I'm a big fan of investing anything that Elon does, and that he's in and involved in, including Tesla, right? It's just a great play for sure. All right, again, I think Elon is the greatest entrepreneur of all time. So I'm a big Elon fan. I'm not gonna lie, big Elon fan. All right, let's see. They're losing the console war with competitors. Sucks to be them. Sucks to be them, right? But yeah, so this is pretty much what I'm gonna be looking for tonight, guys. Right, my favorite setups is definitely gonna be gold, and I'll keep my eye on the euro, but definitely gold and possible GJ here. GJ is probably my favorite as of right now. If I'm comparing gold and GJ, I really like probably GJ a little bit more. But overall, I think these are still not some bad setups overall. These are gonna be my main focuses, GJ and gold, going into tonight, going into tomorrow. And we'll see what happens. Again, as of right now, I only have one position open. That is on gold shorts from this morning. You know, we called out some shorts. We made a bag. You know, the family ate. It was a great time. But I think this is probably going to get stopped out, right? In fact, if I want to re-enter here, and I probably do got to get stopped out, right? Now you guys probably thinking like, hey, but why even get stopped out if you're about to re-enter? Well, because this is a completely different setup for me now. Right? And you just never know. So we'll see what happens. Let's see, do for a pop. You seen your boy Vivek? Yeah, I did actually, right? So, you know, shout out to Vivek. He had a really good presidential run. He was actually opened up a lot of eyes. He made me excited about politics, and I've always, you know, never really got into politics too heavy. And I don't talk politics on stream, that's for damn sure. Most of the time I try to avoid it. But shout out to Vivek, you know, he had a really good run. You know, and now he's going to be endorsing Trump and pretty much just supporting Trump to see if to get Trump elected. But I think Vivek is going to be some way, shape, or form. He's going to be a part of Trump's cabinet, I believe, if Trump does get elected. And that's going to prepare. Yeah, that's going to prepare for the next essentially 12 years if you get my drift, right? You know, so if Trump wins, we have another 4 years of Trump, right? Depending on how that goes, Vivek is going to run again in 2028. If Vivek can get elected 2028 and he's there all the way till 2036, that'd be crazy. All right, that'll be a crazy run, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, right? You know, it was definitely a dope campaign though. But yeah, you know, so gold looks interesting, guys. We'll have to just keep our eyes on this one for sure and see what the markets present, right? So that's our overview here of the Forex markets. Now I want to go ahead and talk about crypto real quick, right? Because as you guys know, crypto is very, very important right now. Especially the timing, guys, of everything is so important, right? And right now is not the time to be sleeping when it comes to crypto, right? So let's just take a quick look at the overall market cap of the entire space, just seeing what has happened overall. Take a look at a few of these projects and see what we ultimately have here, right? And if you guys have any projects that you guys have found that you guys want me to take a look at, please let me know in the chat, right? Send it in the chat. I'll go ahead and take a look at it live right here, dissect it for you, and let you know if I think it's a dope project or if it's a shitty project to not even waste your time on. Right, so definitely if you guys have any setups, or not setups, but if you guys have any cryptocurrencies that you're interested in, send them in the chat, and we'll talk about them together. All right, but overall, guys, right, market cap right now is still sitting at $1.7 trillion, $58 billion worth of 24-hour volume. Bitcoin's dominance did drop. It finally came under 50%. But still, Bitcoin is the most dominant thing on the platform right now, right? And for the most part, for the past 24 hours, the markets really haven't moved too much, right? You know, it's some projects are down a little bit, other projects are up a little bit. But for the most part, the past 24 hours or the past 48 hours, you know, most of these projects really have been just more so consolidating, going sideways, really not doing too much. And I think it's just preparing for the next big move, right? So if we take a look at Bitcoin, you know, Bitcoin had this sell-off to end last week, but ever since then, we really haven't moved much, right? We just started to enter into this structure, and now we're just chilling. Obviously, for the sake of this bull run or for the sake of my investments, I want this to just continue, but there is a chance that we possibly even come even lower, right? Down towards the 40K level, you know, before we go ahead and eventually spring back up to the upside. But I'm still, again, expecting long-term bullishness for Bitcoin. You know, but I think there is a good chance that happens. Now, again, Bitcoin is important, guys, because Bitcoin is like the godfather, right? This entire ecosystem, right? Mostly everything is influenced by Bitcoin and its halving cycle. So when it comes to Bitcoin, it's important for us to identify what's happening, not just from a technical perspective, but more importantly, from a fundamental perspective, so that we understand what the direction of the market can be, right? I'm bullish Bitcoin not because I see that we have been pushing higher here. I've been bullish Bitcoin down here when it was at the lows because we understand the cycle that this market has, right? It's a 4-year cycle that every crypto is influenced by, and that is the Bitcoin halving cycle. All right, so yeah, because of the timing, even if we do pull back, I'm buying the hell out of it. Same thing for a lot of these other projects, right? So as of right now, Bitcoin is sitting at $42,992. Ethereum is currently sitting at $2,500, 2577 to be exact. Polkadot is over here sitting at $7.57. I think Polkadot is getting ready to have a crazy, crazy run very, very soon, right? So Polkadot's one of my favorites. Then obviously we have one of my favorite projects, honestly, one of the very few projects that actually started moving today. All right, so Inspect, I spoke about Inspect a few times with you guys. I have entries, as you guys can see down here, at 19 cents, and then another entry here at 23 cents. So currently we are up around 54% on that entry, and then around 30% on the secondary entry, right? So we're seeing gains here. We're up around 50% on one, man. That's phenomenal, right? And I think that we're going to see this thing truly come and break out the highs and start to really create new highs and trade in uncharted territories, right? And I think it's going to have a phenomenal run. So again, Solana or Inspect, in my opinion, is such an undervalued project for what it actually is and what it actually does and what it provides for Twitter, for the crypto space as a whole. So I'm a big fan of it, man. It's one of the very few projects that actually had a crazy pump. And then we have a few of the dog coins, Myro, right? Myro's been going nuts as well. Again, entries down here at 1 and 2 cents. This project is currently up around 500%, 600% gains. Pretty crazy. All right, so we have one entry that's up 642% gains, a second entry that's up 538% gains. Absolutely insane. All right, so if you're wondering why we talk about crypto a lot more, is because we're able to catch moves like this now. Right, because we understand the timing of the markets, right? So like this is nuts, okay? And I'm expecting something similar like this to happen to Myro's brother, Rocky. Right now, this project literally just launched, right? Like about 48 hours ago. But this is the project I'm gonna keep my eye on. All right, there's around a $10 million market cap already on the launch, but it is literally Myro's brother, like legit the same team that developed Myro that gave us 600% returns in the past 2-3 weeks, is the same team that developed Rocky, right? So I put some money into this, and we're gonna see what happens. Again, it's just a meme coin play. I didn't put a lot into it. I just put enough that if it does go crazy, it could be a substantial flip, but not enough to where if I lose it, I'm gonna be upset about it. Right, so that's one, guys, going really well. I think that was going to be phenomenal. Algo has been pumping once again. Algo, I think Algo is going to be a project that truly does perform tremendously during this bull run. So that's going to be great to see that continue to go. And yeah, Solana's back at the $100 mark as well right now. And Solana is going to be another one that I feel like is just going to continue to have a phenomenal, phenomenal year here. Right, and the beautiful thing about Solana, if this has a phenomenal year, a lot of these smaller low cap projects like Myro, like Rocky, a few of these other projects like Move, like a lot of these projects are literally built on top of Solana. So if Solana's having a phenomenal year, if Solana's really starting to trend higher, then what do you think that's going to do for the projects that are built on top of Solana's blockchain? Right, that should automatically bring up the value, right? Or we should see some increase in value because of that, right? So yeah, I think this is gonna have a phenomenal run. We're already having phenomenal runs, but I think it's bound to continue. I mean, this thing is already up, guys. Literally, this low over here was literally just not even 6 months ago, right? This is September of last year, right? Up 470%. Insane, right? So Solana's gonna have a phenomenal year, I believe, as well, and hopefully it brings up a lot of these smaller cap projects that I'm investing into with it. That'll be great. Right, that will be great for sure. All right, so those are a few of the picks, guys. Again, anything right here in this section is actually projects that I have exposure to. Okay, whether it's, yeah. Okay, so anything right here, I actually have exposure in. And not all of them. There's still like 3 or 4 projects that I don't have in here just because they're not on TradingView just yet. But for the most part, all the projects that you guys see here are actual ones that I have exposure in, right? So if you ask me, yo, Abel, what should I invest into? I'm always going to tell you, listen, this is what I'm invested into. You do what you want with that information. Okay. All right, so let's see. ApeCoin. ApeCoin. You actually bought into ApeCoin. That's interesting. Let's check what ApeCoin is doing, right? Because ApeCoin from the launch was a major flop. Right? ApeCoin from the launch was a major flop. Look at this thing. All right, ended up launching. What was the actual launch price for this? Right, this thing really was a major flop, unfortunately, right? So for those of you guys that don't know, the Bored Ape Club, right? The NFT project, right? That was #1 in the space. They actually had NFTs, was going for hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? It was crazy. Had celebrities purchasing them left and right. Well, those Bored Apes literally are not worthless, but they were literally lost so much value. It's not even funny. But this coin right here was developed to run that ecosystem, right? It was developed to run the Bored Ape ecosystem, and as that project collapsed during the bear market, its token did as well. But to be fair, even on the launch, when it actually came out, it had an initial pump just because of all the momentum and the hype behind it. But it immediately lost a lot of steam and just never rebounded just yet. I mean, look at this, right? When it came out, we're seeing like billions of dollars worth of trading volume, right? Because there was so much hype behind it. We're talking about $2.5 billion there. 1.4 billion dollars there, right? 900 million. So there was so much money when it initially launched. 5.5 billion at the highs, right? It just never turned around, and then obviously people lost a shit ton of money, and people just lost faith in it. So I'm this is not something I'm interested in personally. Will it have a pump? Will it come back? Maybe. I don't know. It's just not something I'm personally interested in, right? What you'll have to do is really just check the page, the website. Just really make sure that the team is still developing. They're still working on things. Make sure that the team is active on social. And if they're doing all that, then by all means, man, do what you do, right? But for me, it's just not something that I'm interested in. All right, but it looks like the team is active, right? It looks like the team is still developing and still working, so that's pretty cool, all right? So as long as they're still working and still developing on things, which is, I mean, just by looking at their Twitter, it shows that they are still being active. It could come back, right? It could come back. It could get a pump, but it's just not something I'm interested in overall. Hell no, I'm not. All right, so let's see. Kadena. What we got? Kadena. I know I've heard of this one before, but I never looked too deep into it. All right, let's see what we got here with Kadena. All right, are you actually in it, Edward? You invested into this one already, or is just one that caught your eye? All right, because let's take a look at this real quick, right? So right now it's currently $1.25. The high of this is around what, $24.20 is the high. So we're pretty low from the high, right? If this thing's only $1.25 and the high's back all the way up towards Mother Junkin $25, $26, that's pretty crazy. $28. That means we have a lot of room to go just to get back to the highs. We're talking about potentially thousands of percent of returns, right? So that's crazy. So that's the first thing, right? Is just looking at the current price of the coins and where it was at one point, or the highs. Just, I don't know, something I always typically do. But the market cap right now is $300 million market cap, only $12 million worth of volume. That's pretty low, right? $300 million market cap and only 12 million of that worth of volume. That means people are either just sitting on their coins or just forgot they had it. I don't know. There is a billion total supply. Okay, let's go ahead and look at what markets this is actually in. It's on a bunch of the major ones. What is Kadena? Let's see. Kadena is a proof of work blockchain that combines proof of work consensus mechanism from Bitcoin. Principles to offer a scalable version of Bitcoin. Kadena claims it can provide security Bitcoin while being able to offer unparalleled throughput that makes the blockchain. So it's just trying to be essentially like Bitcoin. It's essentially trying to be like Bitcoin. What makes it unique though? In until I'm going to achieve this by bringing chains together, making offering, that all work. Okay. Let's go ahead and check the website, check the Twitter, and see what we got over here. Powering the human layer of blockchain. Reimagines blockchains for technology. Let's see. Welcome to layer H. They want to serve all humanity, but where others can. Welcome to layer H, the human layer. Chain web packs. Okay, backed by brightest minds in blockchain. See, look at this. It's little things like this that catch my interest, right? It says Cadena was founded by Stuart Popejoy and William Martino, who created J.P. Morgan's first blockchain. J.P. Morgan, that's a big time name. That's interesting. Let's see, our advisory team includes Dr. Stuart Haber, blockchain co-inventor and one of the most cited authors in Satoshi Nakamoto's renowned '08 white paper. That's interesting. Dr. Stuart Haber. Dr. Stuart Haber. Who is Dr. Stuart Haber? Stuart Haber is an American cryptographer, piracy research technology, widely recognized as the co-inventor of the blockchain. That's powerful. He really is known as the co-inventor of the blockchain. And he is on the advisory team of Cadena. That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. Alright, let's see. Upcoming releases. Web Authen. The wallet security. Okay. Hyperlane Bridge. ZK. Let's see what we got here. Let's take a look at their ecosystem. Projects in the Cadena ecosystem. Alright. Let's see. Okay, these are the ones right here. Okay, so it does have a ton of projects as well that it's working with already, which is good news. Right, I always want to work, if I'm going to invest into something, I always want to make sure, especially if it's like a blockchain, right? Like this is a specific blockchain. If I want to invest into a layer 1 blockchain, then it has to already have other apps built on top of it, right? It has to have the capability of offering smart contracts so that people can build on top of it, right? If it's just something that is like, I mean, now there are projects out there that allow for building on top of Bitcoin, but besides all these other projects that now came out, you weren't able to really build on top of Bitcoin, right? Because it didn't offer smart contracts back in the day. But now there are platforms that were created that actually allow for smart contracts to be built right on top of Bitcoin, which is pretty cool, right? But that's what I want to look for, right? If I'm getting into a blockchain, it has to be capable of, for one, allowing other developers on board to create on top of it, and it actually has to have a bunch of products built on top of it, right? So this one is cool because it does have, somewhat a lot of projects as well, right? Now, some of these weren't built directly on top of it, right? Like Binance clearly wasn't built directly on this project, right? But they probably got like some type of partnership with them, right? But there's a ton of stuff here, that you guys can look into and see how it, correlates with Cadena. But this project doesn't seem too bad, right? Especially my biggest thing is just the developers or the team. All right, I think the team is very interesting, especially if they really do have on board who they say they have on board. All right, that'll be pretty interesting for sure. All right, so we'll see. I don't know. I think it's an interesting project, man. I think it does have a phenomenal run. Yeah, we got to see if this team, and it's a team of powerhouses from what it looks like. So we'll see how it performs. But yeah, it's not a bad play here though. All right, not a bad play at all. So shout out to Stuart Haber too, who's on the advisory team of it. That's pretty fire. All right, let's see what we got here, right? What platform do you use to buy your project? I mean, it really depends, right? We get that question all the time. Abel, what exchange do I go to? And it really depends. Like, it truly does, right? Because not every crypto is going to be on every single exchange, right? Especially if you're getting some of these newer crypto projects, these smaller cap projects. It's going to be harder to find those, cryptos on a lot of the top exchanges, right? So it really depends on the project, so. Right, so you still holding your NFTs? I'm still holding whatever I still have, right? I think I didn't sell no NFTs. I haven't looked at them neither in a while. All right, I mean I do have them in my MetaMask. I seen them the other day, but I do have them. I just forgot about them, to be honest with you. But I still do have my NFTs, but I'm treating them as like they're worthless at this point. All right, I'm just gonna check back in like a year and see if the NFT market came back or so. Let's see, Cardano. Cardano's cool. I mean, Cardano's an OG. You know, Cardano's been around for, I mean, for a while now. 2015, 2016, 2017. I remember Cardano. Right, so Cardano's been around for a while. I mean, the only thing about Cardano that really held it back was its inability of its lack of smart contracts, right? So what you weren't able to really do much with Cardano, but now Cardano has came out with improvements that actually allow smart contracts now, right? So now you can actually build on top of Cardano, and it's actually been creating a massive ecosystem on top of Cardano, right? So you know, Cardano's always a safe bet. Do I think it's gonna go parabolic? It could. But again, it's just one of those safer plays, right? It's one of those safer plays that I think, you know, putting your money in Cardano is definitely gonna get you some growth. It might be some slow growth, but you definitely get some growth out of it. It's not one of my favorites, but you know, they have made a lot of developments over the past couple years. So it could have a decent run this bull run. Chainlink is one of my favorites, right? I'm a big fan of Chainlink. I've been in Chainlink every single bull run, and I'm in Chainlink on this bull run as well, right? I think Chainlink itself is going to have another phenomenal year. Again, Chainlink, for what it is and what it does, it is the number one. It's in the number one position in its sector, right? This is a Oracle project, and there's a lot of projects out there that are quote unquote in the Oracle space, but this is the number one Oracle project here, right? And oracles are necessary, right? Especially for this this industry to continue to grow into other industries, right? So I'm a big fan of Chainlink. I think it's gonna have a phenomenal run for sure. So if you're not in Chainlink just yet, you're tripping. All right, I mean, back up to the highs, right? The highs for Chainlink is around $52. It's only at 15 right now, right? So just to get back up to the highs, we're gonna 4 or 5x just to get back up to the highs, right? And then we should see this thing pass it as well. I'm a big fan of it. Let's see, stablecoins still pegged to the dollar. Most stablecoins are pegged to the dollar, right? Most stablecoins are pegged to the dollar for sure. All right, so yeah, that Chainlink don't look too bad, man. We'll see. We'll have to see what happens, obviously, throughout it. But I'm a big fan of Chainlink for sure. All right, so let's see. Now I want to talk about this right here, family, right? Because there's actually a Yahoo Finance article, all right, and it's talking about Miss Cathie Wood, right? Cathie Wood is, I believe she's the CEO, right? But she's the CEO of ARK Investments, I believe it's called. It's a hedge fund, right? She runs one of the largest hedge funds in the world, right? And she said she's a big supporter of crypto, right? She's actually been very vocal and just explaining her thoughts and her opinions of what she believes Bitcoin is going to do. And look what she just came out recently about a week ago and said. Right now, again, this is somebody that's in the financial space, and her voice holds weight, right? Because of what she's done and because of how big, you know, her fund is, right? But she said Bitcoin could hit $1.5 million by 2030. Oh my goodness. Just think about that right now. 2030, family, is still 6 years away, right? So we got some time before it's 2030. But just think about that. All right, just think about that, right? That is crazy. Just think about us getting a $1.5 million Bitcoin. Now, think about it, what that's going to do for all of our other projects that are not Bitcoin, all the other altcoins. If Bitcoin gets to 1.5 million in that, then the market cap of Bitcoin at that point is probably going to be crazy. But if that market cap is that crazy, then that means every other project can also go ahead and have its run, right? But to hear this from somebody like this is crazy, right? 1.5 million, we need that, right? So that's going to be dope, right? To see if that actually does happen. Right now, for all you guys that do watch Shark Tank, Kevin O'Leary, right, he also has a prediction, right, and he believes that Bitcoin is going to reach anywhere between 150 to 250,000 by 2030, right? Obviously, it's not as out there as Kathy Woods. Kathy Woods is at 1.5 million per Bitcoin by 2030. He's at 150, 250,000 by 2030. And I think Kevin O'Leary is completely underestimating what we got here, right? I think we reached 150,000 this year. What are we talking about 2030? Like, we don't need to wait 6 more years to reach 150. No, we're gonna reach 150,000 probably this year. All right, so yeah, what a time to be alive, man. It's a very interesting article, though. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts in the chat, family. Let me know you guys' thoughts on that. Because obviously that would be phenomenal. That would be phenomenal. Let me see. Yeah, no, that's interesting. That's interesting for sure. All right, let's go back, take a look at the markets once again. What do we have here? Bitcoin, do you got anything for us whatsoever? And nothing yet. Let's see what we got here. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, this looks some interesting things, family. Let me see. Ripple's good, but it's slow. I think Ripple had forked Uniswap v2 code to improve its system. I mean, Ripple is cool, right? This Ripple was part of the ISO tokens, right? Now, there's been a lot of talk about the ISO tokens lately, because these tokens are specific tokens that could be utilized in the financial systems, which could be obviously massive for those specific projects. So because Ripple is a part of the ISO 20122, whatever the whole number thing is, I think it's gonna have a phenomenal run either way. But I just never been sold on Ripple. I'm just be honest with y'all. I've never been sold on it. It's dope to see it, pretty much defeat the SEC. That was a very big win for Ripple. Um, Obviously it has a massive community. With it being an ISO token, it's gonna have some utility. But I just never really been a fan of it. So, but I don't have to be a fan of it for it to make moves and for it to do numbers. So I think you guys, would do well if you guys invested into Ripple for anybody that does like Ripple. Let's see, looking at Bitcoin as a history book is very interesting to read about. I remember when China banned Bitcoin. There's a lot to happen, right? There's actually a lot of documentaries that you can find right on Netflix that go over like the history of Bitcoin and what it's been through um and things like that, right? It's pretty cool. Right, it's pretty cool to be able to watch those, the documentaries of those things and just see where it's coming, where it's going. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. I want to see this. Come on. Okay, nothing we can do now, but that's what I really want to see. Nasdaq as well. Nasdaq as well. Boom, 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 boom. Interesting. Yeah, family. Let me see. I'm over here just looking at stuff over here on my other screen real quick. Looking at a few things. Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be anything clearly for tonight. Obviously, not that I'll be interested anyways. Um, well, a few of these setups are definitely gonna be forming for tomorrow morning, family. A few of these setups are definitely gonna be setting up tomorrow morning nicely that we'll be able to take advantage of nicely for sure. I'm excited for that. In terms of crypto, there's a few other ones that I found. There's a few projects that I found, but I'm debating if I want to talk about them or not right now because they are extremely risky projects because they are extremely fresh, super small caps. So I don't know if I want to tell you guys just yet about that. I want to do more research on it to see what we got. But let's see. What is this? Prosper, world's first prediction market with the on-chain liquidity aggregation. How do I predict? Not even. This is pretty interesting. What is this? Prosper? Closed pools? Will LeBron James score over 80 points? Hell nah. Yeah, I don't know about this one. Definitely is interesting though. Yeah, but besides that though, family man, there's really nothing else to be honest for you guys tonight. I'm just gonna go ahead and call it a night, and we can come back tomorrow. Again, if you guys are in the trade room, I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow morning, so we can go ahead and take advantage of a few of these setups. Again, what I am interested is possible gold shorts. I am looking at possible Nasdaq longs, and I think those are gonna be some of those. I am also possibly looking at some GJ long positions as well. But for the most part, those are going to be the ones I'm focused on. GJ longs, gold shorts, and possibly NASDAQ longs. But we'll have to see what happens tomorrow morning. Again, if you guys are in the trade room, let's get it. You guys know the vibes. We're going to be in the trade room tomorrow morning, and we'll be able to trade this stuff live in real time. And if you guys are in the trade room, you guys know the type of energy and excitement we have on our calls. And just know I am going to be there extremely, extremely energized and extremely ready to make some more money because today we made a bag. But family, I do appreciate you guys. I love you guys so much. I will be back tomorrow to give you guys an update on what happened, right, for Asian session. Give you guys an update as to what happened throughout the trading day and give you guys some value, and hopefully you guys can learn something. But family, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Thank you guys for jumping on. I hope you guys have a great remainder of your guys' night. All right, y'all.
Katie Texas.